Welcome, you're watching Kaleidoscope Selling to Life News Capsule. Sri Lanka has over 600 tech startups, and the reality is that it takes 3 to 5 years for a tech startup to turn a profit. In 2022, Sri Lanka's startup output was slightly above the phase average, and the tech startup ecosystem was third in the region. Quite a number of Lankan startups that have stood the test of time are PickMe, Odoc, Row Global, Takas.lk, DirectPay, Surge, and Layup, to name a few. With me today is the winner of Uber Springboard, founder and CTO of KReader, a subscription-based digital reading framework for local languages, Heshan J Peiris. For any entrepreneur or innovator for that matter, starting off in Sri Lanka is quite challenging, especially for a tech startup like yourself. Why is that?
When it's come to a tech startup, the main hurdle is like for SME, the amount of capital that you need to invest is like bare minimum. But for a tech startup, we are talking about high skill workers, and you need to pay them for their capacity, their caliber. So the minimum investment, even if you are bringing your own money or your friend's money into the business, that would be a substantial amount. So like that is where I see that the main challenge or the barrier that we have as a tech startup, because the capital infusion is not a small amount even at the initial stage.
Given that there is a big capital infusion, but it is a product that is not seen, it's not tangible, how do you convince financial institutions or anyone for that matter to give you funding?
With the Sri Lankan financial markets, the way they analyze the things, they want something tangible as a collateral, or like anything when you are requesting a facility, or even when you are requesting an investment, because the angel investments and the startup investment ecosystem in Sri Lanka is like somewhat in the early stage, and people are not really interested on investing on a startup merely on a basis of getting a higher valuation, but most of the Sri Lankan need the dividend as soon as they invest their money into a startup, which is not feasible for a startup because it takes many years for startups to reach the profitability.
So in what areas do you see promise for tech entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka?
One is AI, because there's a huge global hype when it's come to the AI landscape, and there are like multiple AI ventures coming from various regions in the globe, and they are solving many problems, and they are making the conventional processes into many advancements. So the AI space, the amount of capital that is investors are pouring into the AI space is substantial, and the growth would be massive for the next 3 to 5 years. And the second space would be the blockchain. Some argue that the blockchain, the cryptocurrency space is no longer there, but the blockchain, the usage of the blockchain technology is far more beyond that. It increases the transparency, or it can be leveraged for the fractional ownership, or even like hedging the real world assets into the blockchain space, and you can utilize that as a trading platform.
So, but to foster and nurture this ecosystem, what needs to be in place?
The collaborations. And also, second thing, we need as many startups as possible. So as startups, we need to work together with other startups, leveraging each other's skills, leveraging each other's technology for our growth. And the other one, having multiple startups. I believe personally, as a startup founder, we need at least 10,000 startups in the Sri Lankan ecosystem, and that is how we can take Sri Lanka to the next level as a startup nation, as an innovative nation, so that we are taking our products globally as global brands.
What's your quick word of advice for tech startups?
First thing, never fear. Enter into the business. When you have the idea, brainstorm, talk to people, get their opinion. If you feel like you need to pivot, do that. Build the perfect product that you can cater into your customers.
Did you know that Kaleidoscope is on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn? Subscribe, follow, and like us for more.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Silly Life.